Now in theory, the floodlight should come on when I walk. Jesus, that's bright. That is seriously bright. Cast your mind back to last year when I finally managed to get rid of my Ring subscription by replacing all of my cameras with Reolink products. I originally had a Ring floodlight camera in my back garden. I replaced that with the Reolink Track Mix, which has been very reliable so far, tracking and zooming in on anything it detects moving around in my garden. And although it's got some quite bright LEDs built into it, they aren't the same as having a proper floodlight, and I have missed having that bright light illuminate my whole garden. Well, Reolink have kindly sent me their brand new Elite Floodlight to take a look at, and this thing is bright. So thank you to Reolink for sending me their new Elite Floodlight to review. This is a mains powered Wi-Fi connected dual lens camera with a 180-degree field of view and those 3000 lumen ultra bright floodlights stuck to the top. But let's start by seeing what you get in the box. We open this up and see what we have got. First thing in here is the ever important security stickers that everyone is supposed to put up if you've got CCTV at home. Oh. Warm tips. Everyone loves a warm tip. What even is a warm tip anyway? I mean, is it like something that's not good enough to be a hot tip? User guide. Now, this is probably quite important because this particular camera is hardwired to the mains, so I really probably should read this through properly before I install it. And then we got some marketing for other cameras and the doorbell and stuff like that, other products that Reolink sell. This is quite cleverly packaged actually. It's like they've employed a contortionist to try and bend and fit the product into as small a space as possible. And the packaging is all cardboard as well, so there's no plastic packaging here apart from the wrapper that the box came in. Let's have a look at this cardboard box first, and if we open it up, what have we got in here? It's a bag of stuff, so I can show you this on the camera. There's some wiring nuts there, lots of little bags inside here with different screws inside. There's some little plastic screw caps there as well, and wall fittings. What else? Massive spanner. And if I tip the rest out, we've got a metal bracket and a USB cable. I'm guessing the USB cable must be for setting the camera up before you put it up on the wall outside, so we'll come to that in a bit, I'm sure. And the main event itself, the camera. Let's lift this out and have a look. I'm going to get rid of this box now because it's in the way, so we can have a proper look at the camera. First things first, and this is a one-shot thing, I've got to peel this nice plastic off the camera. I've ruined it, I've torn the plastic. Oh, well, that's no good. So I've got to somehow bend this into shape so as it looks like the product I'm expecting it to look like. So I guess we sort of bend these lights around here, and then we can bend the camera around. Two spotlights there, and it's sort of starting to take shape. Take a close look at the back here and you can see the 3 cables that are going inside. So these are where you've got to join your power cable to. Oh, and they did give me, let me get this here, an actual really long mains cable. So this is a UK plug on that end, and then another 3 cables there. So I'm guessing that's what the wire nuts are for that were in the box earlier. That's quite clever. The bracket for the back of the camera has got a little spirit level built into the top of it, so you can make sure that you screw it onto the wall perfectly level. And there's a hanging cord there, so as you can screw it onto the wall, hang it on the wall and do all your wiring without having to hang it off the wires, so that would damage it. So this here is going to be quite helpful during the install, I'm sure. Now on the bottom of the camera there is a little screwed down panel, so I'm assuming that's where the USB port is. So I'm going to open this little panel now with a screwdriver, but clearly not this screwdriver because I need a better screwdriver than this one. Right, let's try a proper screwdriver. Much better, much better. And yes, there is the USB-C port, so I guess I plug that into a power source somewhere and then I can set it up in the app. USB cable straight into the camera. That will power up and probably make a lot of noise in a second, I'm sure.
Willkommen bei Reolink. Bitte Reolink App installieren und den QR-Code auf der Kamera scannen. Bienvenue à Reolink.
Okay, yep.
Benvenuto a Reolink. Welcome to Reolink.
Okay,
Please
yep.
install Reolink app
I've done.
and scan the QR code on the camera.
Am I allowed to talk?
Willkommen bei Reolink.
Shush.
Benvenuto a Reolink.
Connecting
Willkommen
device.
bei Reolink.
Shh. There we go. Okay, so that's all working in the app. I guess the next step is to go and fit this on the wall outside. The camera part itself does look very similar to the Argus 4 Pro that I reviewed last year, with those two lenses that get stitched together to give you an ultra-wide 180-degree image. But there are some major differences. Firstly, the Elite Floodlight is much more solidly built. It has a metal casing and the SD card is under a screwed down metal cover rather than a silicone flap. The Elite Floodlight also has infrared LEDs, so you can get proper black and white night vision too. And because this is a mains powered camera, you don't need to have a home hub to connect it to Home Assistant. But of course, because this is a mains powered camera, you need to have suitable mains wiring in place. Luckily, I already did for the old Ring floodlight, so I went and got my ladder out so as I could install it. So the first job was to remove the track mix, making sure I'd turned off the power first, of course. Now for the track mix I had to install a little junction box for the wiring, but the Elite Floodlight doesn't need that, so I removed that too. The wall bracket was easy enough to install and the built-in spirit level made it easy to ensure it wasn't too wonky. The loop on the back of the Floodlight Elite was very handy for hanging it in place on the wall bracket while you screw on the wire nuts. For a mains powered camera, the installation really couldn't have been any easier. I'd already added it to the app before installing, so I just had to adjust the camera's angle to give me the best view of my garden, and then adjust the floodlight lamps to make sure that they don't point directly at my neighbours' houses behind me. Job done. So I've had to wait until it's dark to test the floodlight, so let's go outside and have a look. Just gonna open the door now and we'll step outside, close that door behind me. Now in theory the floodlight should come on when I walk. Jesus, that's bright. That is seriously bright. I mean, I can see myself lit up on the screen right now. I'll turn the camera around. I mean, you can see that is pretty bright, and my whole garden is really well lit. Now, it's really difficult to show on camera, but pretty much my entire garden is lit up. I don't know if it's coming across on camera, but I mean, I can see exactly where I'm going. Okay, it's not getting the darker areas around there, but that's blocked by the conservatory, so that's understandable. But pretty much the rest of the garden, I mean, it's not quite like daylight, but you can see every detail. Right, if we look at the light settings, you can see I've got it in night smart mode at the moment, which means it just turns on when it detects an event, but only at night. Now we've got brightness options as well. It's at full brightness, so let's turn that down quite low. Yep, that does go low. It goes mid brightness, okay, full brightness, so got a full range there. Color temperature, that's the whitest color at the moment, but we can take it down to like a warm white if you want, so it's quite an amber glow. Yeah, okay, that's pretty configurable. That's everything you'd want from a floodlight, really. At the time of filming that, I didn't realise there was a bat flying around my head either. I only noticed that when I watched the footage back. So I think it's safe to say that the Elite Floodlight is bright enough to be a bat signal. See what I did there? Bat flying around, really bright floodlight, bat signal. Never mind. So let's have a look at some recorded footage then, because of course a camera needs to have good video quality or none of the other fancy features really matter. Fortunately, the quality of the image from the Elite Floodlight is pretty good. In fact, it is good enough for me to have noticed that I really need to go and clean the gutters on my conservatory because they're filthy. But hopefully the first thing you'll notice is just how wide the viewing angle is. I know the specs say 180 degrees, but until you see it for yourself, you don't realise quite what that means. Because this is two images stitched together, you get minimal distortion at the edges, which is a problem you tend to see on wide-angle single-lens cameras. Now, I will be the first to admit that this camera is probably not the most suitable for my garden in this particular position. I just don't need 180 degrees because what I end up with is a full view inside my conservatory and also a view into my neighbour's garden a little bit. I have of course blurred that part out for privacy reasons, and I've angled the camera as best as I can to avoid getting the back of their house and their windows. But what you can see here is if you have a large area that you need full camera coverage of, this camera is superb. You get the whole area in one shot. There's no panning around which can cause you to miss action if the lens doesn't happen to be pointing in the right direction at that time. Each camera lens also has a 4K resolution, so you can zoom in on specific things and easily pick out the details. Now don't get me wrong here, I think this is a great floodlight camera, especially considering its price, which I'll come to later, but there are two small issues I have with it. They're not showstoppers at all, but this wouldn't be a very thorough review if I didn't mention them. I've already mentioned that the horizontal field of view is amazing at 180 degrees, but the vertical field of view could be better in my opinion. It's only 59 degrees, and that means that I can't quite fit all of my garden in from the position I have the floodlight installed. I can either position it to see everything close up or angle it up a bit to get the bottom of my garden. If you mounted the floodlight lower down, then the angle of the camera could be shallower and improve that, but this is a floodlight and it's supposed to be higher up. And the second issue is to do with the lights on the floodlight themselves, and I'm being really picky here, but those lamps don't have blinkers or shields on them. If you look at the ring floodlight, you can see that there are protruding shields around the lights, which mean you can easily position the lights so as they illuminate your garden but don't shine into your neighbour's windows. Those shields effectively cast a shadow, preventing light pollution. I'm going to see if I can clobber together a solution to that myself, maybe get something 3D printed, because I really want the benefit of the super bright lights in my garden, but I don't want my neighbours getting annoyed every time they come on. But let's talk about the price, and especially the price compared to the main competition, which I reckon is the Ring Floodlight Cam. Now the Ring Floodlight Cam Plus at the time of recording is $159.99. They also make a Pro version which is $219.99. The Reolink Elite Floodlight Wi-Fi is only $159.99 right now. The full price is $199.99, but let's be honest, Reolink products always have a discount, or you can find a voucher code somewhere. There's probably one in the description of this video, so go and take a look there. But the Ring cameras basically need a subscription to be useful, and that starts from £4.99 a month. You can use Live View for free, but if you want to record motion events, then you need the subscription. Reolink, on the other hand, gives you many choices. You can put a micro SD card in it like I've done in this video to test it out. You can connect it to their home hub for centralized recording, or indeed any other NVR solution because it supports standard protocols like RTSP. Reolink also have a cloud storage option via a subscription if you really want to go down that route. As for resolution, the Ring Floodlight Plus is only 1080p. The Ring Floodlight Pro is 2K, but the Reolink Elite Floodlight is 4K resolution and ultra wide. Field of view for the Ring cameras is 140 degrees horizontal and 80 degrees vertical. The Reolink Elite Floodlight has 180 degrees horizontal and 59 degrees vertical, but don't forget you get more distortion on the Ring images because they use a single lens. The floodlight brightness is pretty similar, with the Ring Plus putting out 2000 lumens and both the Ring Pro and the Reolink putting out 3000 lumens. All cameras have infrared night vision, sirens and two-way audio built in. In terms of extra features, the Ring Pro has something called 3D motion detection using radar, which lets it create a bird's eye view, and as cool as that looks, I think it might be just a bit of a gimmick, but I will reserve judgment until I've tried it out for myself. The Reolink Elite Floodlight has dual band Wi-Fi 6 for a solid Wi-Fi connection, which is important when you're streaming 4K video, as well as zone-based intrusion alert and loitering detection, all processed locally on the camera. So you can see that the Elite Floodlight is a solid contender in the world of floodlight cameras. It's generally a higher specification than the competition, and most importantly it's part of the fully locally managed Reolink ecosystem. As with all of the other Reolink cameras, you don't need an internet connection. Having them cloud connected does make things a bit easier to set up and gives you remote control capabilities in the app, but it's not compulsory. Anyway, I hope that you found this useful. If you did, then please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for free to see more from me. Check out the links down in the description if you're interested in one of these floodlights, and while you're down there, maybe have a look at the channel membership or Patreon links and you could become one of these fantastic people listed here who support the channel. In return, you'll get early access to my videos and some bonus content too. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.